Evening, welcome to Pride Park Stadium. Owen Bradley with Shaun Barker and Kira Rye here to bring you some reaction to Derby's draw with Plymouth this afternoon. 1-1 it finished at Pride Park Stadium, so Wayne Rooney escapes with a point on his return to Derby. It takes the Rams up into the top half of the Championship, at least until Sheffield Wednesday play tomorrow. We'll bring you reaction from the camp shortly. As always, we'll kick off with a word or two from the guys on this afternoon's game. Jerry Yates got Derby starter barks with a brilliant goal. What did you make of the performance overall, though?
Good performance, really positive. We dominated for long spells. I thought we looked as comfortable playing through the pitch as we have done for a while. But you always have that nagging feeling that it's points dropped because we had chances, we had positions to do a little bit more. We didn't test the keeper enough and needed that second goal. We had some really promising positions and just didn't make the most of it, whether it's the final pass, whether it's the quality of the finish. And that'll leave, I think, probably Paul and staff a little bit frustrated. I'm sure they'll watch it back and be really pleased with loads of the individuals and some of the performances, but you still feel like there was something missing to come away with 3 points. So a real shame, but the positive are the performance was excellent.
Yeah, excellent performance, Kira. But does that feel like points dropped?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think performance itself was probably one of the most dominating we've seen all season, and I think the build-up play throughout the pitch was excellent up until that final third, which I thought we just lacked a bit of quality in the final execution, whether it was a shot, a pass, the last decision. So I think to create that many chances in the first half, not that they're necessarily clear-cut, but to create that many chances to being around the box so much and to not be as clinical as perhaps we should have been, to then concede a deflected free kick. I think, like I said, it is 2 points dropped rather than a point gained.
And more from the guys in a moment or two. Let's get Paul Warne's thoughts on things. Here's the Derby head coach.
Like pride and disappointment. I thought we were really good. I thought we needed that second goal in the first half. We didn't get it. And then the longer the game goes on, like they had a couple of goal mouth sort of from our set piece clearance, a couple of into the keeper's hands, either side it's a goal. And I don't care how biased you are, no one could leave the ground and not think we were the better team and the team in the ascendancy for most of the game. So I'm really proud of the performance, and I think, you know, the dressing room, not that they need to be told again, but they're excellent. Great team, full of kahunas, want to attack teams, you know, want to play with a bit of pace. You know, there's always things you want to improve in your team, but as a group of men trying to win games for this great football club, really proud of them. Disappointed that, the free kick looks so soft, it's beyond, and then deflected in. I mean, if ever there's a game where I was sitting there thinking, is it, you know, like it's in the gods or in the stars that, you know, ex-manager comes back and somehow nicks one. It's sort of, I had this awful feeling it was meant to be that we weren't going to win, but we didn't win. But we picked up a point, and you know, on games where you just can't get the next goal, you just don't lose it. So there were some amazing performances throughout the team. We obviously changed the shape as well to try and go for it as much as we could. And yeah, I leave here really proud of the lads. Two games, every game's tough in the champ, but back-to-back games. And look, I said to the lads beforehand, and I'm saying a lot, sorry, but like we played Plymouth at home. They hadn't registered an away win yet, nor had we. It didn't mean that we were bad away from home, and they had the same amount of points as Hull. And you know, we had a massive respect for Hull, so you have to respect that team. That's a championship team, and I thought we, you know, outperformed them in large parts of the game. So in all of that, I'm really pleased.
I know it's been a busy week. Did you find time to practice overhead kicks? Where did that come from Jerry Yates?
I know. Well, as soon as that went in, I said to Hammy, being a selfish centre forward as I was, I would like the score to stay 1-0. Because if it's 1-0 and you've scored an overhead kick, happy days. I think Nels tried one second half, which didn't look as classy, to be fair. But really pleased for Jez to get another goal, and I think the fans, well, I know the fans can appreciate how hard he works, and you know, that shot from distance would have been some way befitting to, you know, win the game. And yeah, so there was some really, I thought Tomo again was very good, and there were some really good performances throughout the team. And you know, the game changes came on, and we just didn't have enough to get that goal. But you know, when I watch the game back, I'll be really pleased of how, for large parts of it, we sort of really controlled it.
Do you put it in context of the fact you played Wednesday, 24 hours less rest than Plymouth had, and from 2 games you would take 4 points?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's hard though, isn't it? You know, when you take 3 in the first, we're just greedy, aren't we? We're just absolute like little Pac-Man, just gobbling up points where you can. And when you're on top, I said to the goalie coach after 20 minutes, you have to make hay while the sun shines. That old classic. But we needed that second goal, but I did like the way we played. I did, in both shapes. I did like it. And I thought we created enough attempts. I mean, you can tell. I mean, with your professional voice, will say this after the interview. Oh, Paul was said, and it will come up shots and things like that. But I did think that we were on top of most of the stats, and it did feel like that. And it's disappointing to drop points at home, but let's not get carried away with ourselves. We're not Barcelona. We're trying to compete in this league week in, week out, and the lads gassed out, give everything they could, and I think. I like to think that everyone leaves here thinking that the lads, gave everything, and so they should.
International break is sort of time to take stock. Are you satisfied with where you are at this stage of the season?
Yeah, satisfied with the performance level. I think we've got some couple of tough months coming up. So, but I am pleased with the level where we're at. I think I don't, apart from actually going on and scoring today, I don't think we could have set the lads up any better. They've all took the information on really well. The subs, everyone's pushing for a place, and we've collected. I just thought if we'd have won today, that took us to 21 points. Is that right? Just short a third of the season. So if you're really good at maths, that's 63 plus another little boosty bonus. So if you ended up with like a 66. Season, you might be in and around up with a few games left. So I'm pleased with the points accumulation, although as always I think we could have had more. We've been a little bit unfortunate in a few games for a few different reasons, but on the whole I think the lads have adjusted to the league really well, and the new lads have come in and played a part. So I do leave the ground really proud, but I do understand that people turn up and think, oh, this is another one of them, not guaranteed wins, but one that we should win. And in fairness, on the, cause of play.
Paul Warne, proud and reasonably pleased with where Derby are. Just for the record, 19 points from 15 games, top half as it stands. One more game to come this weekend, and we will take you through all the results and the table shortly. So he's pretty satisfied. Shaun, how do you feel about where Derby are after 15 games?
I'm delighted where they are. I think they've had a really positive start to the season. I said at the very beginning, it's about kind of maintaining championship status. The jump from and the goal from League One to the Championship is massive, and we saw it in the first couple of games, didn't we, where we were kind of caught out a couple of times, or maybe not quite on it, and we were punished. I think we've learned a little bit more over the last few weeks about how to be a little bit tighter, and every away game has been competitive, and there's only a goal separate the sides, and at home we look confident. We look like we believe we can beat teams, and I'm not being funny. We should look at Plymouth as a side that we should beat at home, and I think in terms of the performance, in terms of the dominance, in terms of the work rate, the attitude, the application, it was all there, bar getting that second goal and being ruthless when we needed to. But in terms of a start to the season, I think it's been fantastic, and it's a little bit of a surprise, but the football has been so much better when we've made the step up. They've brought players in that are more technical. They want to play through the pitch that little bit more. He had a philosophy and a style to get out of League One, and it's progressed into a more attractive style of play. And yeah, really enjoyed the home games especially.
Jerry Yates has had himself a week. Kira, 2 goals, or maybe 3 if you want to give him the second one at Coventry on Wednesday. What do you make of his finish this afternoon?
I think it was sublime. I think execution, timing, contact, it was perfect. I don't know if he could do that again if he tried, to be honest. But I think he had a great game overall. Really lucky with that second one for that not to go in. But I think his overall game today was really, really good. His work rate off the ball was exceptional, and I think he did really well to lead the line for Derby.
Another set-piece goal as well. I don't know if that's quite one they've worked on or drawn up, Shaun, but Derby showing how effective they are. Yeah,
well, in the early stages, you mentioned that Plymouth were really susceptible from conceding from corners and set pieces, and they looked vulnerable. And Jerry wasn't picked up from the start to the end. Take nothing away from the finish. It was a brilliant finish, and one that only very few players on the pitch could actually kind of do and deliver. So big moments. We know how important set pieces are. Real shame for the goal conceded. Firstly, it wasn't a foul. Nathaniel Mendes-Lang just gets his body away from a poor touch from Whittaker, and then the deflection to take it the opposite way, and you just hoped at the second half they'd have that little bit extra to get the goal that they deserved. But you leave, I think, pretty happy with the performance, a little bit disappointed you don't get all 3 points, but it's another point, it's another step in the right direction, and again, where the boys are in the league and the standard they've set, it's been a really promising start to the season.
Derby will feel slightly aggrieved with the goal, Kira. I think the consensus seems to be that it probably wasn't a foul in the build-up. Did it feel to you like it was maybe the only way Plymouth were going to score today?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think they created much at all throughout the game, throughout the 90 minutes. I don't think they had another shot on target, perhaps one deflected in the second half. That was a comfortable save for us. So other than that free kick that was deflected, I didn't see them kind of breaking us down or scoring at all, to be honest. So I think that deflected free kick was really, really lucky for us to concede.
And the major frustration is that Derby in the final third just lacking a little bit.
Yeah, and I think in the contrast, I think we created so much up until that final third. It was the detail of our final decision, whether that be dragging shots wide or just not making great contact on the final pass, final shot. And I think that's something that perhaps we've got to work on coming back from the international break and go again and look to kind of cement our championship status, like Bark said.
Obviously, the frustration is that Derby didn't get the second goal, but you'd much rather be creating chances or getting opportunities and not taking them than not even creating them, right?
Of course. We've had games where we've watched the team maybe not create as many chances away from home, especially where we've maybe only tested the keeper once or twice. The disappointment is it looks so promising for the long spells of the game, and we got into that final third really well in a variety of different ways, whether it's forward runs, whether it's a ball over the top, whether it was playing through the pitch. The energy from the likes of Tomo to stretch the pitch on the left-hand side. I will say that I thought we were excellent when we changed to the back three. Ozzy did excellent in the left wing-back position, and it offered a different threat. So, again, you look back at it, we created chances, we created so many, I'd say, opportunities rather than clear-cut chances in and around the box. On another day, Nathaniel Mendes-Lang gets a couple of goals, Jerry maybe gets a couple of goals, and it could have been a comfortable win if that second went in. It was just eluded us, and we couldn't quite find out the way to get that second goal. So, yeah, there was more than enough to take away from here and be positive. More than enough in terms of how we've played and how they set up. We changed the shape, and it still was us on the front foot. They looked a threat on the break alone, and there was just moments where they should have been a little bit better, but we defended well, and yeah, ultimately should have won the game. And you leave with that feeling.
One man who will be happy is Wayne Rooney, who got a very nice reception, I thought.
No, I think that was really nice to see, and I think the fans obviously showed their appreciation for Wayne before the game and also during the game. And I think everyone here knows what he did for the club, so I think that was always going to happen.
Yeah, let's get some more reaction from downstairs. Nat Phillips made his first Pride Park start today.
It felt like we dominated the game, and it feels a little bit disappointing coming in now, only with 1 point. But it wasn't for lack of trying. We did everything we could, kept on knocking on their door, and unfortunately it just wouldn't seem to go in at the end.
What sort of a view did you have of that goal from Jerry Yates? It's pretty special.
Front seat, yeah, I had a great view of it, and I could see it set up for him perfectly. I didn't think he'd have the audacity to try it, but it is Jerry, and he couldn't have hit it any better.
Is that the sort of thing you see him trying in training?
No, I've not, to be honest. That's the first time I've seen him go for that. But yeah, like I say, it couldn't have gone any better for him.
And he tried another special one, second half, didn't he? From inside his own half. He looks confident, is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, I think when you're scoring over a kick, you're always going to have confidence after that. He's been playing really well lately. Got a goal midweek and contributed to the second. So, he's got plenty of confidence and plenty of ability. So, yeah, like you say, that second attempt as well was... got to have a high level of skill to execute that the way he did, and he was unfortunate that the keeper did so well to keep it out.
It sounds like frustration is the major emotion with the performance, in the sense of you played ever so well, but just the goal was missing.
No, you're right. I don't think we could have done much more. I said earlier, and we said as a group at half-time, we were pretty comfortable, probably first half an hour, and then maybe got a bit too comfortable, and maybe stopped doing the things that were getting us success. But we worked extremely hard throughout the game, especially second half as well, to keep going, keep pushing. and it felt like we deserved more from the game. It felt like we deserved the 3 points, but sometimes that's just the way it goes, so we take the point.
A couple of starts for you this week. Has it been good to get some minutes in the legs?
Yeah, certainly. I've had to be patient since coming in. Obviously, the defence have been performing well since I've come in, so it's been difficult to get into the team, but you just have to remain patient and ready for those opportunities when they come. It's been really nice to get some minutes and try and contribute to the team and what the club's trying to do, and hopefully that can continue.
Ready for a rest now, international break?
Yeah, very much so.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Nat Phillips there after his first Pride Park start today. Results from the Championship weekend so far then. Blackburn getting a win at lunchtime. A couple of goals for Andy Vyman in that one. Oxford losing last night. Big win for Middlesbrough over Luton. Stoke get a point against Millwall. In the 3 o'clock games, victories for Leeds, for Bristol City away at Norwich. Importantly for Portsmouth, just their second of the season. Colby Bishop back in the side and coming on to convert a late penalty as they beat Preston. And Coventry, without a manager of course, after sacking Mark Robbins in the week, fought back from 2-0 down to get a point away at the leaders Sunderland. The table then sees Derby squeaking back into the top half. Sunderland the leaders, Leeds up to second. Sheffield United could change that. They have the game in hand and they've also had a couple of points deducted as well. But Derby 5 points off the playoffs ahead of tomorrow's games. And there is a real logjam still from bottom of the top half all the way down towards the bottom. Plymouth move out of the bottom 3 with their point today. Portsmouth still bottom of the table, but they have gained some ground certainly on Queen's Park Rangers and a couple of the sides above them. And that's just about all from us. If you want more reaction to today's game, it'll be on the website, dcfc.co.uk. My thanks to Barks, to Kira, and to you for watching. We'll be back in a fortnight. Goodbye.